What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Yard Red Festival, the tournament where all the proceeds go to help to the Red Cross, and you should go and support them because of that, and because of the good games. This is going to be Game 2 between Sqreen Squad and the Power Rangers, currently Sqreen Squad 1-0 up. Here on HeflaTV channel, I'm going to be Mike Loris, one of your casters, joined by Grandisv.
Yeah, we're going to jump into game number 2 with the bands looking pretty similar to what we saw in game number 1, with the exception being the Terrorblade taken out by Power Rangers. Yeah, and then this draft is also going to give us a little bit of something different, with the Sqreen Mage first picked by Sqreen Squad, a hero that we're fairly used to seeing. Worked pretty well last game with Sqreen Squad, although it wasn't an outstanding performance, it still did its job. And I expect it to do its job as well. Sqreen Mage, usually a pretty solid hero, offering a decent amount of CC with the slow silence, as well as damage with the ulti, as well as Arcane Bolt. Power Rangers, instead of what we saw last game, are going to first pick up the IO, and I'm not sure what hero they're deciding to pair with this Wisp in this game, but still a lot of global presence coming out from the hero, and something that I would have liked to see from them last game.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice change of pace for Power Rangers. I don't think they're going to pick up the IO partner just yet. They're going to kind of force Sqreen to use their bans in order to take out the likes of Tiny. So they're going to kind of force their hand in that regard, and I don't know if it's worth it, but it's certainly going to be a cute little banning Captain's Mode kind of tactic. IO is going to be partnered with the Bane right now. That is a very interesting way to open up a draft. I mean, you rarely see these two heroes, and you rarely see these two heroes together, so picking them both up first is kind of unheard of.
It really is. A very peculiar opener. Bane might work pretty well with IO, as long as the enemy team combos with it. But the combination of IO and Bane just isn't seen. They don't have good synergy between each other, although in a vacuum, both pretty good heroes. Bane offering a decent amount of single target lockdown, as well as some good nuke. And Ogre Magi, again, we're going to see it in this game, although this time paired with the Sqreen Mage. Great combo for going aggressive together. The Ancient Steel amplifying a multicast can be absolutely detrimental. 100 to 0ing your squishy supports the late game, or even some cores if they don't go for BKB.
Yeah, and even if you don't completely kill them off, you will have your own cores to finish them off. So pretty much as far as support heroes go, I would say Ogre Magi Sqreen among the top for just pure damage dealt. I mean, if you get, especially if you get a multicast, and especially if you start with the Ancient Seal, which is not always possible, but if you do manage to land it, then people are going to be dropping left and right, especially when you're dealing with weak heroes such as the IO, and Bane isn't exactly the tankiest hero in the game either. So it's a lot of burst damage coming out from Sqreen. It's kind of a weird skeleton coming out from Power Rangers. Like, they obviously don't really have any direction with this just yet, but they're setting themselves up for something a little bit bigger down the line. I don't know if it's going to be a Tiny pickup this game, but it's definitely not going to be Sven, as Sqreen are going to be banning that one out. So Power Rangers don't get the IO Sven. It's a shame, I haven't seen that combination in quite a long time. Visage as well as Faceless Void being banned out. Now the Naga Siren. Looks like Power Rangers are just fearing the general late game heroes of Sqreen.
Yeah, it seems that way as well, but Sqreen do not ban out any other Tiny combos, with the exception being that Sven. So Power Rangers, if they want to snag it up, the Tiny's still available in the pool, as is the Chaos Knight, a hero that I'd love to see. Ogre Magi as well as Sqreen Mage don't really have a great tool to clean through those illusions very effectively. And, I don't know, it's an IO partner that we haven't seen in a very long time, and right now I feel the Chaos Knight deserves a little bit more credit than we're seeing. I think it's more because Sven is more popular and Tiny is just as good as ever with that Wisp. But then again, I don't know, I'd like to see teams experiment with it. Maybe this is the game, although they'd probably delay it to the 4th pick if they are going to go for it.
Yeah, gotta believe in the Chaos Knight dream. It's been so long since I've seen that hero. I've also seen a lot of IO Bristleback as of late, so maybe they're going to want to pick that up a little bit later. But since Sqreen Squad haven't picked up, or haven't banned out, really, the huge amounts of heroes to go with the IO, Power Rangers could just wait, and that's exactly what they're doing. Centaur, it does a decent job with the IO, but that's not really the combination you want to rely on. It's just a generally strong hero that Power Rangers is going to pick up because they can. I mean, Centaur is first pick material in my opinion, and if you can pick him up third, then you might as well go ahead and do that. And they just wait till the later stages until they see more of Sqreen Squad's lineup, and then decide what they want to partner up with the Wisp.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Centaur going to offer some good utility. Global ganking pressure is going to be there from Power Rangers, especially if the Blink Dagger comes out early from the Centaur, Blink, Hoof Stomp, Double Edge, and then relocate the IO +1 on top of them. That's probably going to be a kill, depending on how much backup is behind that hero. Sqreen Squad, they still have 3 cores that they need to fill up in these next couple of picks, and it's going to be a Magnus to start things off for Sqreen Squad. Yeah, Magnus is a hero that's seeing a lot more play as of late, and Power and Bloodlust together is a ridiculous combination. Although we didn't see it come to fruition in last game, it can be incredibly scary, and PA is available if they want to go for it. Although up against the Bane might not be their choice.
Well, both sides might be looking towards that PA. Wisp with PA is pretty legit. If you get that additional attack speed for overcharge, you're going to be cleaving through things left and right, and it'll be overall good times for the PA. Lots of magic damage to worry about, but with BKB inevitably going to be a pickup, it's going to be a couple of protection tools against that. But yeah, Magnus being picked up with the Ogre Magi. Sqreen Squad are pretty much picking up Power Rangers lineup from last game. Maybe they're going to try to show them how to play these heroes. I hope for a Night Stalker, but I don't think Sqreen Squad are going to go for that. With the Mag, they are going to prioritize melee cores over ranged cores, especially with Bloodlust as well. You get extra sticking power with that, so maybe we're going to be seeing that PA or just a Slark. Well, that's not exactly the hero I thought, but a Bloodlusted empowered Slark is certainly pretty dangerous.
Yeah, much more aggressive hero than we're kind of used to oh my goodness, used to seeing. As of late, a lot of teams are more focused on the late game. Six-slotted Slark definitely can be scary, but doesn't have the potential to completely wipe the enemy team unless you're already ahead. On even footing, other carries might be better, but then again, I'm quite liking the Slark pickup. The Sqreen Mage as well as the Ogre Magi are going to be able to abuse the fact that IO and Bane really aren't a very good combination at the early games as far as supports are concerned. They might be able to tether away and give that extra movement speed, defensive nightmare on top of it to save their core, but even so, the Sqreen Mage and Ogre Magi should have a pretty good time of roaming around, and the Slark is a hero that can benefit very heavily from those early kills. Also, Power Rangers, for the early portions of this game, are going to be very weak. The Centaur Warrunner as well as the Batrider are going to need those Blink Daggers before they come online. That's going to be the window where Power Rangers really need to make things happen. And right now, they're going to rely very heavily on this Tiny partner, or Wisp partner, excuse me, which might be the Tiny.
Yeah, I think Tiny at this point is probably the best bet against Slark, Mag, and Ogre Magi. The craggy exterior is going to be huge and really annoying for any sort of hero to go up against, and well, unfortunately for them, Sqreen Squad are going to recognize that fact and kick that Tiny out of the pool. So now we stand where IO is going to be looking for a partner. I have seen, IO just being picked up without a huge DPS partner and just used for the relocate with Batrider and or Centaur. It's not the worst way to go, but yeah, there we go. Phantom Assassin is going to be picked up, so lots of damage with this overcharge. And a good amount of protection as well. Like, Batrider Centaur is a very annoying thing to get through in order to get to the Phantom Assassin and try to kill off the Wisp right behind her. So Power Rangers, they have a lot of damage in the late game. They have a lot of initiation. They just have to make sure to avoid the early game aggression from Sqreen.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be pretty hard for them. Right now, I'm liking Sqreen Squad's lineup a little bit more, although we haven't seen the last pick, which might change my thoughts on it. As far as the last hero for Sqreen Squad, it's probably going to be an offlaner for them. Nature's Prophet and Tidehunter are both available in the pool, but instead, Queen of Pain.
Well, I mean, if you're dealing with a Phantom Assassin, if you're going to be dealing with an IO, then you might as well just dump a whole bunch of magical damage on their head. And Queen of Pain together with Sqreen Mage, Ogre Magi, it's a ton of magic. So I don't think this is the worst pick that Sqreen Squad could have made. It's definitely an incredibly powerful hero as long as she's unpunished. It's going to be a pretty large objective for Power Rangers to try to focus this hero down, but they're kind of a little bit stun light. I mean, Ouija 6, his grip is not going to last very long, I don't expect. Centaur Stomp, Batrider Lasso, and that's about it. So Slark and Queen of Pain, and even Mag to a lesser extent, are pretty slippery, and they'll be able to evade Power Rangers for a good portion of this game.
Yeah, I think that's fair. In that sense, I do like the Queen of Pain. The Sqreen Squad lineup is very reliant on snowballing, but I think they'll be able to do it. Sqreen Squad are going to be playing on the dire side with their supporting duo being Sqreen himself playing in the Ogre Magi. Sqreen Mage is going to be handled by Slander. Mammoth going to be playing on the Queen of Pain, presumably going towards mid, with Akvarium playing on the Magnus Boots first, looking towards the offlane, and ZXC going to be playing on the Slark.
And on the Power Rangers side, we got playing the Phantom Assassin, Cheshire Cat, on that hero. IO is going to be played by Seneko, so they're going to be most likely partnered together quite often, and it's going to be, in fact, a dual lane, it looks like. Shotchlo is going to be playing the Centaur Warrunner with a ton of restoration. He's prepared for the solo bottom lane. We just stick right behind him for now as the Bane, and then up towards top we have the Batrider. So dual lane, Phantom Assassin, IO. It's not exactly the most common lane in the world, but both these two heroes, especially together, are pretty capable, and if they're going up against Slark, Queen of Pain, or Mag, it's a decent enough lane for the Power Rangers.
Yeah, I think it's probably their best way to go about laning this. The Bane Centaur combination is pretty good at bursting targets if they catch out the Mag or anybody solo. There is a little bit of killing potential there, and I think it's a better way to distribute their heroes. Phantom Assassin can't really benefit that much from stacking in the middle lane, as she doesn't have any great wave clear, unless we see Battle Fury coming out from Cheshire Cat, which honestly I don't like very much. But yeah, there still is that option, and stacking for the Batrider is probably going to be the better bet, and that'll be a pretty easy task for Sneeko, as he'll be able to pop off on towards these two side camps and get those pretty huge for the Batrider to get that early Blink Dagger. Power Rangers, I think that they're going to be able to get a decent amount out of this early game, but will it be enough? This Ogre Magi and Sqreen Mage, if they're able to make the rotations happening, I still like Sqreen Squad's chances. And currently they're going to start off with a 5-man smoke into the enemy jungle. This has kind of fallen out of favor as far as teams doing it. It used to be all the craze, and they might be able to find a first blood because of it. Chatchlo might not expect this. They do, have boots first on this Ogre Magi, and they probably will be able to land this Fire Blast, and let's see if they're going to be able to get in range. They're looking for it. It's going to be juked behind the trees. Centaur is going to escape.
The Ogre Magi Fire Blast, it's pretty good, but really you want to be initiating off of a concussive shot, and you don't want to be leveling up concussive shot unless you know for a fact that you're going to be able to get these kills. Otherwise, your Sqreen Mage is stuck with 1-point concussive shot instead of an Arcane Bolt, and suddenly can't harass as well. So it is a nice attempt coming out from Sqreen Squad. You know, it's a good idea, but unfortunately the execution is just a little bit off. They don't have an Earthshaker or something like that, which is really what you want to have for a level 1 attempt into the enemy jungle. But at the end of that failure, it's just going to be them settling into the lanes. It looks like Sqreen and Aquarium are going to be, for now, camping out the bottom rune. It's going to be a bounty for them. Slark's going to grab an illusion up on top. And, of course, it's going to be yet a little bit more pausing. So get a little bit more time to just watch this gray screen. The Slark has gone for Magic Stick at level 1. So Sqreen Squad with a really nice read, actually, expecting this Batrider to be going up towards the top. I mean, it's not the most dangerous of assumptions. It's either the Batrider or Centaur as realistic choices, but this opening of the Magic Stick and just Slark versus Batrider in general is a pretty nice opening for Slark. The Dark Pact does get rid of all the sticky napalm.
Yeah, and it'll make it sure that the Slark's able to survive. Also, Leap Wave, things get really hairy. And until level 6, there's very little chance that Batrider is able to get the kill on Slark. And even once level 6 comes out, Slark with the Well-Timed Dark Pact can take that off as well. So yeah, looks like the top lane is going to be favored towards Sqreen Squad, although the Batrider still should be able to get a good time Blink Dagger because his camps haven't been blocked yet. Yeah, there is a very deep dire ward. I believe that does block the median camp over here. We'll see. I'm not exactly sure on the spawn boxes, but it's only going to be the large camp available for the Wisp, and that it might be problematic for him, although it still should be fine. This Phantom Assassin in mid, once she gets a couple more levels up in the Stifling Dagger, the harass is going to be very annoying for whoever they're dealing with, even though the Queen of Pain shouldn't die to it. Once level 6 comes out, if those daggers crit, there might be a little bit of an opportunity.
Yeah, and the mid lane, it's perfectly reasonable for Power Rangers. Like, I don't think the Queen of Pain is going to get completely demolished in this lane, but she's not going to completely turn it around and demolish Power Rangers either. It's going to be where the supports are going to be more relevant, and because it's going to be a dual lane for Power Rangers, I expect to be breaking even versus the Queen of Pain, then the rotations out from the Ogre Magi as well as the Sqreen Mage are going to make this lane all the more difficult for Power Rangers. They do have a little bit of survivability with the Tether as well as the Phantom Strike, but that's about it, and that's not enough to save you when you have a Sqreen Mage and Ogre Magi bearing down. So this mid lane for Power Rangers is going to be extremely vulnerable. And of course, when you rotate out, then the other side lanes are going to have a little bit of an easier time. But I think whenever the Sqreen Mage and Ogre decide to go to the mid lane, they're going to get something, assuming that Power Rangers are, in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, I think that's fair. For now, we're just waiting for the Magnus to get back into the game, and he is going to reconnect, speak of the devil, and we should be jumping into the game momentarily.
Alright, so they are going to secure the bounty rune for themselves. I don't know how much of a roaming role Sqreen is going to be playing. As you said, he does have boots level 1, which is my favorite way of playing the Ogre Magi. Just roam constantly with the additional movement speed. He does have Fire Blast, though, and you really want to have Ignite if you want to be going for early kills. But as long as he's pressuring the enemy team somewhat, maybe even denying some stacks to the enemy, it's going to be Sqreen playing a very active role in this game. And when you're talking about a hero that starts out with almost 600 HP and 6 armor, the more active you could be, the better off you're going to be as well. So we just take in Sqreen right off the bat are going to start beating on each other. Wisp is going to come right in and, well, pressure back Sqreen. He's going to try to dig his way through. Actually, he's forced to eat 2 tangos in order to get out of there safely. It's a pretty steep investment, and now he's completely out of health regen.
He does have higher base regen, so he can still trade pretty effectively, but it is a loss for Sqreen nonetheless. So yeah, the deep ward's coming out from the Dire. We do have some decent vision over the ward spots. The Tango is also going to be eaten by We Just Sick as in mid. The spam is going to be real on both sides. It's actually Sqreen squad using a dual lane. Sqreen Mage and Queen of Pain versus this Io as well as Phantom Assassin. Tipping the balance, but the Centaur is the one that might be giving up first blood to the Magnus. Looks like he got the Skewer under tower. It's not going to happen as there's no Shockwave available. Unfortunately, he just picked up that level 2. Either way, just a little bit of hype here as the Centaur is going to be dropped very low and forced to eat through a lot of his consumables.
Sqreen's going to rotate in, and Schlachlo is going to be roughed up in the end, but still surviving. He did get a salve off for just a little bit. It wasn't enough to really be of any sort of significance, as it was immediately cancelled, but that is a salve down for the Centaur, and now he's going to be forced to very slowly regenerate through the usage of his tangos, but he had 8 of them, so he's going to be fine to do so. The Ogre Magi has been messing with the Bane this entire game, and it looks like he's going to stop that and now go for Saneko. The Arcane Bolts are going to fly there. Instead, going to change their mind and go for Cheshire Cat, but he has a Phantom Strike out if he really gets in danger. He is going to be just fine as Saneko's extra regeneration with the bottle already picked up by the Io is going to keep Cheshire Cat alive, but Sqreen squad, they're supplying pressure everywhere. Even if it doesn't result into kills, it's not the worst case scenario because their side lanes are doing so well.
Yeah, Slark currently 8-4 versus the Batrider. Even though there are a lot of stacks being thrown the way of ZXC, they're going to be instantly purged off. And there's nothing the Batrider can really do about that. Batrider is not being shut down by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still a Slark that's able to farm. And that's pretty happy, but it's the first blood on the Wisp, as in mid, they're able to bring him down with Blinks as well as the Fire Blast.
Yep, caught that one on camera. It was the Wisp trying to secure the rune, and then Ogre Magi and Sqreen Mage ran straight into that ball of light and then just walked him down very easily. And then Mamont swooping in for that last bit of damage. So it's a kill, first blood, going the way of Sqreen squad. Now they're going to try to go for J4, who's actually completely out of mana. Unfortunately for them, despite their crowd control and despite their magic damage, the Slark isn't there. If he was, I don't know if a level 3 Slark would have been the difference there, but either way, the kill is not going to happen up towards top. But again, providing pressure wherever they can and even getting a kill in the process, it's going to be good times for them, but maybe not in the bottom lane where Akvarium is just a stomp away or a double edge away or something away from dying. One more right click, it's going to do it. They bring down the Magnus over on the bottom lane fairly easily.
Yeah, just getting a little too comfortable and gets caught out. Yep, they are going to be able to get the pounce after the Fire Blast onto the Batrider, just action all around. Being isolated in each of these 3 lanes, one after another. It's going to favor Sqreen squad after all is said and done. This Batrider not doing very well. The dual lane in mid is not losing to the Queen of Pain, but after being left alone, Mamont is still doing a fine job. 8-3, 9-3 now compared to 15-0 on the Phantom Assassin, especially when you factor in the kill on the Wisp earlier.
Yeah, and the Ogre Magi with 2 assists already. Sqreen Mage with 1 kill, unfortunately wasn't involved in that second kill, but either way, it's going to be Sqreen packing the boots and the Orb of Venom. This is pretty much as much of an aggressive build as you could possibly ask for on your Ogre. He is going to look to get kills on whoever he could find, and I think for right now it might be J4, who is currently up into his Firefly form, looking to try to mess with the pull of Sqreen just a little bit. Ogre Magi needs a couple more levels before he truly gets devastating, and Mamont over in the middle lane is going to jump upon by the Phantom Assassin. Huge amount of damages. Queen of Pain is really slow on the draw to blink away. She does have her bottle though, so she's going to regenerate and be just fine, but the Phantom Assassin combination is working out much better than I really would have expected. They're shutting down the PA by quite a bit.
The PA is not being shut down. The Queen of Pain is...
Did I say PA was being shut down? I mean, Queen
yeah.
of Pain was being shut down.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. If they left the Sqreen Mage here, they are going to jump back in with 2 supports. This is going to change things entirely. It's Cheshire Cat. It's going to Blink Strike away to the Wisp. It's going to keep himself safe with the Bottle Charge as well as the Overcharge. And now Mamont does not have a blink for 3 seconds. Going to take a lot of damage. They don't have another blink strike, but they do have a stifling dagger. They're going to use it, canceling the blink as he goes aggressively and gets a kill immediately onto the Phantom Assassin. Now trading up against Saneko. Saneko can't win that fight, and Mamont takes a double kill. Although incredibly low, is going to be able to make it back safely.
15 HP. The Queen of Pain gets to survive. Gets pretty much a double kill all by herself. A little bit of help from her friendlies, but Queen of Pain is the type of hero that you really don't want to give that type of start to. She is one of the most textbook snowball heroes in the game, and now she's level 5, that level 3 Screamer Pain, just enough to kill off the Phantom Assassin. Again, magic damage, the best way to deal with her. And then enough to kill off the Wisp in a dual 0 base armor on the IO. If he had won, maybe he would have won that fight, but unfortunately it simply was not to be, as Queen of Pain is going to be so dangerous. Even though she doesn't have that much CS, is actually on the lower half of the chart. 2 kills is more than going to make up for that.
Absolutely. Currently second in the net worth chart under the Slark, who's had a great time farming up and towards top. He's going to get the Aquila after getting the stick as well as the poor man's shield up against the Batrider. And right now the Bat can't do very much to pressure this lane. Bottle online for the Batrider. There's not any stacks available for him in the jungle. One of them being blocked and one of them just not being stacked up by the Wisp. Firefly, J4 is going to pop this. He might be in a little bit of trouble if he gets caught up by Sqreen. The Fire Blast comes down. Where's the leap from the Slark? He's way too far away. He's probably going to, just hold on to it as J4 makes it towards the high ground. Takes a lot of damage. But isn't going to net them a kill after all is said and done. But it might get them a bounty rune, and Sqreen will get that one, but potentially at the cost of his own life. As Stifling Dagger comes through, the Wisp Spirits are doing quite a lot of damage. He tries to turn from Fire Blast, he'll get the Fire Blast off, but it will be his demise. Batrider getting the kill.
Yeah, a whole bunch of Power Rangers heroes, like 4 heroes in one area at this stage of the game is very uncommon to see. That being said, I don't really know if it would have mattered if there were only 3, or hell, even 2 heroes probably would have been enough to pick off the Ogre Magi in such a precarious situation. So Ogre Magi goes down, his first death, so it's not really a huge deal for a Sqreen squad, but unfortunately for them, losing hero is never really the best thing in the world. They are potentially setting up for mid as We Just Sick. He's been kind of in the background as Bane. He's been pulling on the bottom lane and just trying to give the Centaur a little bit of an easier time versus Aquarium. And the lane on the bottom end is fairly even. There is a kill going the way of the Radiant here, and Aquarium is not going to be the happiest about that. But he now has Arcane Boots and Bottle, so he should be just fine, assuming he doesn't get gripped out of nowhere. And the grip is still very far away. They're going to set up, potentially. The Nightmare is there. Aquarium taking a quick nap and is going to wake up and walk away. Okay.
Yeah, not much more that they can do there, especially with Centaur only having 350 HP. Can't really go for the double edge, as that would secure his demise more than anything else in mid. They're going to slow up Cheshire Cat and blow him to shreds. The silence onto him is going to amplify the damage, and they're going to take him out. And now Sneeko trying to TP out. Will he be able to make it? There's no other way to cancel it, although he drops to below half, is going to be safe inside his base. But still, the Skywrath Mage as well as Ogre Magi doing a lot of work around the map.
And that's really what you would expect from an Ogre who's picked up Boots and Orb of Venom, and Skywrath Mage who is on the map at all. Skywrath Mage is just so great at doing that damage and helping out Maman just lock down this lane. Another 1,000 gold for the Queen of Pain. Double damage rune even helping out. Now she's going to turn around to Cheshire Cat, going way too aggressive to this Quap. Blink forward for another Sonic Wave. Will kill off the Queen, will kill off the Phantom Assassin. Now she's going to try to kill off the Wisp. It's going to be a double kill for Maman. Does trade the Queen of Pain's life for it. But going out in a blaze of glory, it's ultimately a 2-for-1, and Queen of Pain did go down after getting the kill, so pretty much nothing but wins there for a Sqreen squad, plus getting a tower up on top where ZXC has been pretty much left alone. Batrider has not been in this lane for quite a long time. Now he's facing a 2-level disadvantage, plus an Ogre Magi rotation potential.
Yeah, I don't think the Batrider can very comfortably sit in this lane. He's going to be pinged out, and the Ogre Magi looking for the big wraparound. I think this Batrider is dead. He might not know it yet, but it looks like J4 is going to fall, but the one to fall first is the bang down and bottom to the Magnus, using RP for a kill and support. Probably worth it. They're looking for the pounce. They don't find the pounce, and ZXC is forced to back off as Sqreen just takes a couple of tower shots for his trouble. Fire Blast turn for the pounce. They are going to land it onto J4, but they do have rotations in for the Wisp. They will lose their Batrider before they go back towards mid. They don't have relocate, but they'll find themselves Sqreen, and now the Magnus down at bottom also falling to the Centaur.
Unfortunately, I have no idea what was going on in the bottom lane. Just a whole bunch of heroes going to town on each other, and ultimately it's Mag getting a kill, but also dying, and we might be seeing another death shortly as Schlosslow does not have Stampede to escape. Is there a Mystic Flare? There isn't. Slander's still getting the silence of Schlosslow, amplifying level 3 Scream of Pain. That is a lot of damage. Actually, it's level 4 Scream of Pain, in fact, so it's a pretty easy kill on the Centaur, and he's usually a lot harder to kill than that, so it is a pretty aggressive play up on top lane. Batrider, unfortunately, is going to go down for Power Rangers. They're going to try to go again for ZXC. Doesn't have a Shadow Dance this time. He is going to do a lot of damage to Sneeko. Might want to turn around for this. No, he's just going to full-on retreat. He's going to try to protect Dark Pact once again. I think he should have gone to town on the Wisp and tried to make it a 1-for-1 trade, because he realistically was not escaping that situation.
To be fair, if he made the pounce up towards the high ground, it would have been a lot closer, but with a Blink Strike available for Cheshire Cat, yeah, he's not making it out if they're alive. So Slark, after a really good start, is going to give away a kill. He's still in a pretty good situation, but that's going to give Cheshire Cat some gold. More than anything, as Sqreen Mage has gone on near the river, the Fire Blast is going to stop things. There isn't an ultimate for Mammoth, but he's still going to go to town onto Sanika. The Shockwave is going to land as Ouija Sick is focused down by the right clicks. Nightmare is up, the Queen of Pain before all is said and done, but after a quick nap, Mammoth is going to be just fine and will be able to blink away as the haste runes pop by the Queen of Pain to regenerate up to some pretty comfortable levels of HP. Bounty rune secured by Shachlo. Centaur, actually, this game is going to have a casual belt of strength in his inventory. I think he's still saving up for the Blink Dagger, but honestly, I think that's a misbuy.
Yeah, I mean, usually you don't get any sort of Sange or any sort of strength item until much, much later, so he's going to wish he had a little bit more gold for his Blink Dagger. As
J4.
now Mamont's going to go once again for J4, but the lasso is there. Mamont bit off way more than he could chew. As strong as Queen of Pain is, she is not able to do a play like that and slip away with her life. So it is going to be Queen of Pain throwing her life away. Also, in that previous Upper River fight, the Bane ended up using his grip on the Sqreen Mage, was unable to get the Brain Sap following because Ancient Seal does come out faster. So the Fiend's grip is currently down for another 30 seconds. That might be a small opening for Sqreen Squad, or it might just be them playing a little bit, you know, with a little bit less caution. Slender and Sqreen are both going to smoke up, and yeah, they are looking to do something. Aquarium does have a level 3 Skewer with an RP available, and I think it's going to be a Rumble down on bottom. Queen of Pain not in this area, though. She doesn't even have a TP, so if they do start a fight, it could get a little bit messy, but it's actually going to be going to Queen of Pain's lane. They're going to spot out Saneka, who's going to spot out everyone here as well. Silence is there. Fire Blast to follow with the Mystic Flare. Goodbye, Io. Mamont is going to steal that kill from the rest of his team. Stampede was even used as this Bat Rider is going to get up to the high ground just barely with Firefly, but here comes everyone else. Mamont's going to get gripped up and then burst down in a hurry, but here comes the rest of the team. ZXC is going to jump forward, will not land a pounce onto anyone just yet. It's going to be Shotlo, but he's dropping very low in the Shadow Dance. The Nightmare is out, but Shotlo's not going to be able to escape this. Tron double edge, not going to happen. Cheshire Cat trying to go for Slander, not going to be enough damage on him either. Stick charges onto ZXC, has a Blink Dagger, and he's going to get himself out of there. Here comes Aquarium. One man RP only, but it will be enough to most likely kill off Cheshire Cat. He's pretty tanky with the Wisp bottling up, and he's going to survive and turn around, in fact, for a Sqreen kill. Now he's dueling up against Sqreen, who's going to get critted down. Cheshire Cat's going to live. It's because of the IO's regeneration through the bottle, because of residual fountain regen, that they're going to get away. And also now they're going to chase down Aquarium ZXC, relocate forward, the first one of the game. Can they catch anyone? There's a dagger, as well as damage up to Aquarium. He's going to turn around for a shockwave, but I don't know if he's going to escape. ZXC is going to try to come in, try to get a kill on Cheshire Cat, but he's fighting 1v3, and the damage just isn't there. The blur is making it so difficult for him to actually hit anything. Now he's on the run. Dark Pact is going to keep him safe. Queen of Pain does come in from the behind, though. Cleans up 2 heroes. Mamont has returned, and now he's going to try to go for Ouija Sick, who ZXC is still going for. It's going to be the Slark finishing before the Queen of Pain can arrive. After all is said and done, it turns out to be a lot more of an even fight. This fight recap is not a 1 for 3. I don't know the exact count, but it was fairly even, I think.
Yeah, it started off with PR catching out the Queen of Pain in the mid-tier 1 tower, and it's extended for quite a few minutes as they, I don't know, just chase everybody across the entire map. And I think it is going to be about even, although the tier 1 tower in mid might fall in the favor of the Queen of Pain, who goes for a Dagon.
Well, I mean, if you're dealing with Ancient Seal, you might as well get it. And speaking of, Bat Rider going to get silenced up. He is going to drag Sqreen all the way up to the high ground. Mamont going to survive the Centaur combination. Now gets gripped up. No one's going to interrupt this one. Mamont does get to blink out, however, and will survive. They're going to try to go for this Bane. They will not kill him off just yet, as he's somehow still alive. In fact, everyone on Power Rangers is still alive. There goes the Bane. Finally, Mamont's going to land a nice 2-man Sonic Wave, blow up the Bat Rider, and then kill off the Wisp shortly after with the help of this Lark. It's only 2 heroes from either side surviving. ZXC desperately looking to get a little bit more regeneration before they reinitiate, and it's going to be them retreating, actually. ZXC going to be left alone by the rest of his team, but 3 for 3 at the end of the day, and it's once again pretty much an even fight.
Yeah, 2 supports for 2 supports, as well as the offlaners traded. It's exactly even as far as who dies and who lives throughout all of that. The Slark and the Queen of Pain were the ones to claim to kill, so in that sense, maybe a slight win for Sqreen Squad, but not a significant win, especially since you have a Centaur that gets his Blink Dagger at the same time, which is arguably a larger leap in power, and whatever the Slark or the Queen of Pain will be building next. Queen of Pain right now can assassinate pretty much anybody that she finds when she has her ultimate online. The burst damage coming out from this Queen is ridiculous. With 530 from the ultimate, 300 from the Scream, as well as 400 from the Dagon, that's going to be a dead Phantom Assassin. Although, with the ultimate, Mammoth isn't going to go for this. In fact, has gone very aggressively on it, getting crit. Mammoth going to eat the lesser half of that RNG, as they'll find themselves a very easy pick-off on the Sqreen Mage with that Blink Dagger of Shachlo.
And ZXC is going to run straight into We Just Sick, although not going to realize it. Going to get Nightmare before he has a chance to do anything. Yeah, Sqreen Mage just receiving the Centaur's hoofs into his face, and the Blink Dagger is going to immediately pay off for HeflaTV, as it usually does. You mentioned during the draft that the Blink Daggers in this game, much, it's a lot like usual with the Batrider and Centaur, going to be very relevant, and now we kind of see why. Blink Daggers are up on both J4 as well as HeflaTV, and they're going to be looking to make some initiations happen. There is no Blink Dagger yet on Magnus. That's actually pretty surprising. I'd expect by now the Mag would have a Blink Dagger. He is pretty close, to be fair, but close is not going to do much for you in this game. He needs his Blink Dagger because the enemy team just has theirs, and a Blink RP to counter-initiate is extremely powerful.
It really is. We're going to see Queen of Pain actually leveling up the Dagon on top of it. I'm okay with the level 1 Dagon for Mammoth, but honestly, you need something more. A little bit more HP would be wonderful for the Queen of Pain. Maybe just go for a straight-up BKB. I'm not sure if that's really the best choice, but they are going to get the double stomp, double edge, as well as relocate in. This should be fairly easy cleanup. The multicast is going to come through the Ogre Magi as they try to chase down ZXC. Centaur ultimate being deployed for this one. They should be able to chase him down, and they will, as Cheshire Cat gets the last hit. Sorry about that, and they'll relocate back up towards top with only the Wisp. They leave the Phantom Assassin down towards bottom.
Easy cleanup. When you get an initiation like that, 2-man hoof stomp, 2-man double edge, it's pretty easy to just clean up from there. And I mean, losing the Slark, losing the Ogre Magi, pretty bad for the Sqreen squad, but it did buy enough time for Aquarium to farm up his Blink Dagger over on the top lane. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's going to be a trade that they're going to be happy with, assuming that he get action on this top lane, and it looks like they might be able to. The Wisp is in the area. Aquarium's going to throw a Shockwave down, and Mamont's going to be able to clean up this Wisp very easily. There he goes. But Phantom Assassin going to chase forward for Cheshire Cat. RP is available, but Aquarium really doesn't want to use it. He will use it, but then die straight after. Sonic Wave is going to follow through, which will kill off the PA. Bane's going to grip Mamont, but I don't really know if this is going to matter. One more right click after this is going to kill off the Bane. Maybe 2 more right clicks. Sqreen Mage coming in from the side is going to make this in the end a 3-for-1 trade, and suddenly that trade for the Slark Ogre a little bit better, although not if Mamont dies. Double hoof stomp once again, double edge is going to kill off the Queen of Pain, and now Slander's on the run. The Ogre Magi is right behind Slander, and they're going to land a Fire Blast from Shotshell with the Mystic Flare. Ancient Seal, lots of magical damage to the Centaur, but not quite enough to kill him off. They're still playing with him in the trees, but they don't really have good vision of him. Stampede out, not going to make it. The 2 supports kill off the Centaur, and they're all going to walk away as well. In the meantime, Slark on the bottom lane is looking to take a tier 1 tower. That was a huge set of events for Sqreen squad, taking a nice set of kills.
Yeah, I don't know. Both of these teams fighting back and forth after game number 1. It feels completely different. Although the graphs have been in the favor of Sqreen squad throughout the majority of this, they're not fighting like it is. They find themselves a Nico down in bottom. ZXC going to be able to clean this one up, or maybe he won't. Relocate will keep the Wisp safe for now. And there is some backup. Slark gets towered before leaping away, and that's going to be a solely defensively relocate. I thought that the Wisp might hold on to it there.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to save yourself, but usually you want to use your relocate to save someone with a little bit more priority, such as the Phantom Assassin. Now the Wisp is going to end up losing his life again anyway, so... or I guess losing his life in the end anyway. Aquarium is looking for a Blink Skewer, but I think he's a little bit too far away. He might be able to slow down We Just Sick, especially with the Fire Blast. Blink Skewer right into the clutches of the Slark. The pounce is there, and We Just Sick is going to take a dirt nap. He is down. That's another 2-kill streak for the Sqreen squad down on this bottom lane. They might look to make it 3 as Cheshire Cat in the middle lane has boots. So he's, no, not boots, drums rather. He is decently tanky, but Queen of Pain with level 3 Dagon is going to tear through that Phantom Assassin so very easily, especially with support rotating in. Sqreen squad, they cleaned up the bottom and top tier 1 towers, and it looks like they're going to aim now towards mid.
It seems that way. Yeah, we are going to see ZXC working towards an S and Y now on the Slark. And might bump into J4 as well as Stashflow. They are going to end up retreating, so nothing's actually breaking out yet. But, well, let's see. Mammoth might change things as they do have a Blink Pounce available for the Slark. He's going to look for it. Yeah, going to find himself a nice little nook inside the trees. Luckily enough for him, he isn't stuck. ZXC is now on the sidelines looking for this tier 1 tower. He's going to get Stifling Daggered up, but that slow is going to be immediately purged off, and now the Bloodlust also cast onto him. Nothing's actually going to happen yet. The Blink Initiation coming out from the Magnus is online, but he hasn't thrown out the RP yet, and we still have the Blink to the Batrider as well as the Centaur. So neither team is comfortable in jumping into the other side, especially Sqreen squad, since they're so deep behind enemy lines.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be Power Rangers to start this fight. Keeping my eye on the Batrider as well as the Centaur. they're most likely going to be the ones to open up. Probably the Centaur, although the Bat Rider flying up towards the north now. If he could pull someone up towards the high ground, that'll be fantastic for them. But they're actually going to open up and annihilate the Bane, who got way too out of position. Now the Bat Rider still with the Firefly, has Momont in his sights, but they are going to have to worry about a lot more than that. Stampede is there. J4 going to pull the Queen of Pain back very far. That will kill her off. Now an RP, getting onto 4 heroes. No Mystic Flare, but it doesn't even matter. Everyone is going to die. What an RP from Aquarium. It literally does not get any better than that.
It really doesn't. They all clumped up to try to focus down that Queen of Pain, and they get the Queen of Pain. But yeah, 4-man RP. I've been missing this play from Magnus. The last couple of Magnuses I've seen, the RPs were okay, but they weren't great. That was a great RP. And it was probably more due to PR just finding themselves out of position than anything, but Akvarian, he knew exactly when to press the button, and he found the opening. Perfect team fight for them. They're going to get a tier 1 tower as well as 5 kills, only losing the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, and the Queen of Pain getting lassoed like that, with Stampede on the Bat Rider, like, he has a Force Staff, but honestly doesn't even need it when he's moving at 522 movement speed. Probably not. So Queen of Pain at that point was pretty much going to die anyway, and Sqreen Squad, they were not going to let that go without a fight. Like, when your Queen of Pain gets initiated upon like that, it's easy to say, okay, we lost, we're going to back off, but no, not with the mag. They're going to run straight into Ouija 6. The silence is there, and the multicast X2 with the Mystic Flare. Rest in peace, Bane. ZXC has still a pounce available. Not going to find the Phantom Assassin, does blink very far off to the left, but the Wisp is once again going to be unfortunately pounced upon. He does have backup this time in the form of Cheshire Cat, and it's not really going to matter in the end because it's going to be Sqreen on the back end going to go down, and Sqreen going to try to help out ZXC kill off the IO. They get the IO, but at what cost? Sqreen's going to get the kill on the Ogre for sure, and now ZXC doesn't have that much mana. He's going to get blinked upon, double edge as well. Phantom Assassin's going to stick right on the Slark. Here comes the backup though. Sonic Wave is going to connect onto 3. No real follow-up to this one though, as Mont is now left behind by the rest of his team. He's going to have to blink away. They're trying desperately to bottle up. Sasha's going to try to chase forward. Gets Dagon for his troubles. Where are you at, Centaur? Get wrecked. Now Centaur's down. They might want to go for a little bit more, but Power Rangers, they've lost a little bit more than they really counted on. Getting 2 supports is probably not worth giving away your Centaur for.
Probably not. The Slark barely making it out alive there, and yeah, he just had enough mana after Tread switching. And is now on for his mission number 2. The courier is currently going to the secret shop, picking up the Perseverance for the Phantom Assassin's Battle Free, but the poor Bane. Time and time again, he's just been bursted down, this time without the Ogre, but in the previous 2 fights, multicast as well as a Slark pounce. That was all that they needed to get the Bane, and although they didn't have the multicast this time, they have the Shockwave as well as the Queen of Pain burst.
Skewering back into the clutches of Slark is going to be devastating. Slark is working with a level 3 Empower, so he has gone for the Sanjin Yasha build. It is not the highest damaging build, but it is certainly going to be doing a lot of damage when you have the Empower and the Bloodlust. So I think, given the circumstances, this build is pretty much perfect for the Slark. Is going to be very survivable, very quick, and doing a lot of damage with the help of his allies. Sqreen Squad are looking for a little bit more of an opening right now. They're very good at killing heroes, but they're not that great at pushing towers unless they take a decisive 4-man RP wipe. I mean, that is going to be the dream for them, but straight pushing towers is going to be very difficult, and they will probably struggle a lot in order to take that. They're going to back off and just wait for their cooldowns, get the Queen of Pain, another Sonic Wave, and then try to go in for round 2.
Once they have the Sonic Wave on the Queen, however, she can kill anybody that she chooses on the side of PR, taking out any of the cores from the team fight before they get the bulk of their damage off. Is going to be very important for Sqreen Squad. That Dagon is now level 5, and it's going to obliterate anybody that's thrown into. Also, it's going to probably hit more than one person, as with only a 15-second cooldown, you can take out like the Phantom Assassin, and then use it to clean up the supports or the Bat Rider Centaur later on in the fights.
Alright, so Power Rangers do get a little bit of breathing room because Sqreen Squad are going to be backing off and trying to get a little bit more farm up, maybe get their next big item and try to follow up from there. So what do Power Rangers do with this opening? They're going to mobilize up on top, but no one's actually farming that much. Crucially, Phantom Assassin's not farming. Cleared off an Ancient stack, but I don't even know if it was more than one, so was that really relevant? Did this actually matter? Did Sqreen Squad's backing off give Power Rangers an opening at all? I don't think it did. And now they're just going to go again. This time Power Rangers are out of position to defend this tier 2 tower, and they're forced to sacrifice it. It's going to be a very easy smash and grab for Sqreen Squad, and then I think it might be time to look towards Roshan. Maybe defend the top tier 2 tower first, or just straight push into the base. I mean, that's a good way to go as well. They are very powerful. They have their big team fight ultimates, and if Akvarium can deliver another RP like the previous, then it should be an easy Raxing, but that's a tall order for them. So they're going to start off first going for the tier 3 tower. Sentries are going to be deployed, so there's going to be not much vision here, but Akvarium is invisible, though. He is out of range of a sentry as well, so a blink into a skewer out can be the best way you could possibly start a fight, although they're going to back off. Centaur up on top lane is going to force the Slark back, and it looks like everyone else from Sqreen Squad is going to follow suit.
Yeah. The item of choice for Slark next is going to be a Monkey King bar with the 2 javelins currently in his inventory, and now they find themselves a J4. Oh my goodness, that burst damage. With the Dagon Scarth Mage ultimate, it's going to be too much for them, but Sqreen is going to be burst down by the Phantom Assassin as well as the Wisp, and now they'll find themselves another support. Grip going the way of Akvarium. He might fall as well. The Queen Pain ultimate's going to be pretty good, but it's not enough to salvage this fight, as now they lock down Mammoth, and he's going to be dropped just like that. 4 heroes down for the Bat Rider. Not worth it for Sqreen Squad, as that's going to be a huge win. And the flames are real. Yep.
Mag got an RP on 0 heroes, which I think is because the Wisp balls came around and hit him. So
yeah,
he had his Blink Dagger canceled, and that means that Sqreen Squad, they take a 4-man loss. I mean, killing off a Bat Rider that quickly is usually pretty convincing, but not when you don't have any answers, no follow-ups to the Phantom Assassin. Like, Ogre Magi didn't have his Fire Blast since he literally just used it. There was obviously no Mystic Flare, and Queen of Pain, her burst damage wasn't quite enough, so yeah, they end up getting almost completely cleaned up. Slark was not in that fight, and he probably could have made some sort of big impact since he is so stacked, but unfortunately for Sqreen Squad, that just wasn't meant to be, and I guess they could still keep going for this one, but RP is not going to be up for another 45 seconds, and hopefully for Akvarium's sake, he's going to actually land this one. I mean, you get a 4-man RP, it's okay if you whiff one, I guess. He's going to look for initiation down on bottom, potentially. He's thinking about going for a Blink Skewer, but he's not going to find anyone, so overall, the Mag RP's amazing, then terrible. I guess you could average it out to okay.
I suppose so. Yeah, amazing, then terrible. It's an average of 2 people in an RP, so I don't know, that's not awful, I suppose. Monkey King bar now completed by your Slark, and this Slark is incredibly scary. With Bloodlust and Power, he's hitting for about 300 a swing with no stacks up in the Ascent Shift, and once he has those stacks, he's going to be doing so much damage, especially if the RP lands on 2 or more heroes. Those heroes are probably just going to instantly fall to the Slark's damage, and in the Roshan, it looks like that's going to be their next order of business. As ZXC goes very aggressively into the enemy jungle, finding nobody yet as the Bat Rider goes towards the north and the Centaur goes towards the south. The rest of his team is smoked up, and I think they're just going to go straight up into Roche. Although the Bat Rider is here, they know this is happening as Mammoth goes up to the high ground and finds himself a little nook to get stuck in. The TP away from the Bat Rider will secure this Roshan for Sqreen Squad, as they're not in position to defend against this Roshan Power Rangers.
Bat Rider panic teleported all the way back to the base. I think if he was teleporting to a tier 2 and the rest of the team was in position, they could still contest this, but ZXC is just going to take care of this Roshan so very quickly. It's actually a lot slower than I thought, but now that everyone's actually attacking, maybe they'll be able to kill it off. They're going to lose a tower up on top. They have to worry about relocation, and they have to worry about this Bat Rider initiation. Roshan dropping pretty low, but Bat Rider just across the river. It's going to be a little bit too late, as the Roshan does die. Queen of Pain now with a double life. And Sqreen Squad, if they don't want to fight now, I don't know when they're going to want to fight. It's going to be a pounce forward from Slark. Not going to find the J4 Bat Rider, but he's still going for this one. Has quite a bit of movement speed with the Yasha in tow, and he wants this one, but he's not going to find it. Stampede is going to almost fully disengage Sqreen Squad, but maybe not Ouija Stick. The Slark knows what he wants, and he wants the Bane. Blink out from Ouija Stick. Perfect blink, actually. Did not see that angle coming, and that's going to be the Bane escaping. Schlotzlo also teleporting out. That was Shadow Dance used by the Slark in exchange for the Stampede. Gets absolutely nobody. So overall, pretty nice disengage from the Power Rangers, so they don't lose anyone.
Yeah, the Wisp is currently very awkwardly positioned deep behind enemy alliance, and Nico with no TP is going to be sitting here for the foreseeable future until he makes his way over towards the side shop to get a teleport scroll of his own. And Secret Mission Wisp, so Nico is going to make it over to that side shop successfully. Probably going to have to ship away that sentry ward, however.
That's not really a terribly huge deal for ensuring your escape, and he will do just that. The Bane is also in a really awkward position. He is going to not be spotted by anyone, however, as Sqreen Squad don't have any vision. They're still hunting for whoever they could find, but Blink Daggers and disengage tools galore for Power Rangers. It's going to be almost enough. Schlotzlo is in a precarious situation, but fortunately for him, the Sqreen Squad do not know about this, as Centaur stuck in the trees is going to get himself out relatively shortly. they still have the Aegis, so they're going to keep on applying this pressure, Sqreen Squad. And ZXC now with the Bloodlust and Empower on him, he's going to look to make a jump in. He's gonna have to worry about Batrider though, who's currently cutting off Creep Wave. Might actually kill off a Courier. In fact, it looks like the Courier is running straight into the Batrider, so needs 2 shots to kill it off. There's 0. What the hell, Batrider? Wake up, man. They're going to initiate over onto the Bane. The Queen of Pain is going to blow that hero up very easily with that level 5 Dagon, and she'll have it up in another 10 seconds. That's going to be a kill and a tower, and they might be looking for a little bit more as they still have everything in tow. Bottom lane is occupied by the Phantom Assassin, who's going to have to teleport back, and she does do so, but Batrider is Ned. Now he's teleporting back as well. He was deep behind enemy lines for a little bit, but still the tower taking its chip damage, and Power Rangers waiting for a jump in. Batrider, this is about your time to go. If he wants to go at all. There's Schlachlo jumping in. Stampede is out, but the Hoof Stomp doesn't land to anyone. Now the multicast on Schlachlo. He has a pipe, though, so he's taking pretty much no damage. Mysticlair is going to go wide. And that was no one going down. Blink out from the Queen of Pain will dodge the incoming Phantom Assassin. It looks like that might just be it.
I think it is as well. Slark with no Aegis. He can jump back in since he has regen up to full health, and they might find themselves a Cheshire Cat. They're not going to go for it yet, and they might not go for it at all. Yeah, looks like Sqreen Squad are just going to straight back off. They don't have any mechanism. They do have an urn, but they don't have enough charges to, I don't know, get everybody at a healthy amount. Wait, do they even have an urn? No, the urn's on the Wisp.
Just bought it.
Yeah, okay.
Die. Nope. We're good.
Yeah, 2 minutes still on this Aegis. There's a decent amount of time for Sqreen Squad. They are going to reinitiate, but they find themselves the Aegis. The RP goes on to 2. The BKB target of Cheshire Cat, they're not focusing him down. They really can't as J4 is brought down. Now Acvarium inside the Fiend script will be brought down by the BKB Phantom Assassin. The ultimate comes out from the Queen of Pain after the second life, doing a decent amount of damage to buyback from the Batriders. They're trying to chase down this Phantom Assassin who's taking a lot of damage to the Slark. The pounce and the right clicks are going to be enough as they give themselves a double kill, and now are looking for the Wisp. Wisp is so dead, the Fire Blast doesn't even come out. All said and done, it's a 4+ buyback for 3 is now they might look for more. The Centaur and Batrider, the only survivors. Blink away, and now Blink in. They're looking for the pounce. It's going to be avoided by the Force Staff of J4, and now they need to back out of their Sqreen is going to die to a double edge. An even trade after all is said and done, I suppose. I don't know. High ground still defended by PR, so in that sense, they win.
Yeah, and buyback was spent by the Batrider. Sqreen Squad, their Slark was kind of fighting off to the side, so there were 2 fights happening, and that's exactly what Slark wants, but unfortunately for Sqreen Squad, the Queen of Pain lost her Aegis at pretty much the worst time, right before the RP. So there was no follow-up after that RP, at least from the Queen of Pain. That's when you want to be throwing out your Sonic Waves and all your magical damage, but unfortunately that just wasn't possible. So, unfortunate timings for the Sqreen Squad. They end up losing the Aegis in exchange for a buyback, I guess, which makes it a little bit more even, but Slark is still not dying. He's on the top of the net worth chart, quite comfortably, in fact, and he's now going to go for what looks like a Eye of Skadi with an ultimate orb in his inventory. With Eye of Skadi, Sanyash, it's a little bit overkill. I think I like the Basher a little bit more, but hell, if you can get such an expensive item, you might as well just go for it, as he is going to be a survivor, and he's going to be a stone-cold killer. I mean, I don't even know if anyone can duel up against this Slark. Maybe the Phantom Assassin if she's very lucky and has overcharge, but with Essence Shift and True Strike from the Monkey King bar, it's going to be very difficult for anyone to lock down and kill this Slark, outside of a Batrider initiation by surprise.
Yeah, and even then, Slark has to be slow on his fingers and knock it off the Dark Pact. And so yeah, it's going to be a long Roshan respawn, or rather, no, not a long Roshan respawn. It is going to be in 5 minutes, so in between the two, 10 minutes, almost on the dot, where the max is 11. Slark is continuing to farm up a Storm, and he still has the ultimate orb stuck on the career, along with Sqreen Mage's urn, which he's still not holding on, but he finds himself a Batrider, or not a Bane, excuse me, and the Bane is going to fall. It's a deny off, which I suppose is nice. Probably should have toggled off that Nightmare from one of the other heroes, but they were too far incoming. The Blink Force Staff from the Magnus could have stopped that, but still well played by the Bane.
So Bane gives up his life, and we know what happened last time the Bane opened up the fight by dying. Magnus got a 4-man RP. It'll be split push from Power Rangers. They're going to try to go for top lane, but I don't think they really have this luxury. Despite the fact they do have a lot of damage, their mid lane is in shambles right now. The melee Rax is taking quite a bit of damage. Batrider looking for his initiation tool. There it is on ZXC with Stampede, bringing him deep back behind enemy lands, but he has Shadow Dance, and really he could just go into that one safe and sound. In the meantime, the Schlachlo Centaur is going to try to go in. Cheshire Cat's going to hit with a 1-man RP. The damage is pretty high, but not quite enough to kill him off. It's going to be the Wisp to drop first. taking a Mystic Flare and a Sonic Wave, but now the big cleaving crits. ZXC is going to barely escape, and actually everyone, or most of the people from ZXC, from Sqreen Squad going to escape, but not for long. Cheshire Cat's going to give chase. Double kill for him. Now ZXC going to try to desperately regenerate a little bit more HP. Blink out from the Queen of Pain. They still have vision of her because J4 is up into the air. Blink forward, big crits, and they're going to cleave as well. Mon going to try turning around for Dagon. Not going to happen. Now ZXC going to try to 1v3. He's going to go down as well. That's a full 5-man wipe. I think it's okay to trade your Bane for that. It seems like a good one. Sqreen Squad, they get such little value out of all their spells, but they take the melee Raxes in the end. Is that worth it?
I don't think so. I don't think that PR are going to be able to get a Rax of their own at this point in the game. One melee barracks is very significant for Sqreen Squad. I still don't think that's a good trade. They lose their 2 supports after all is said and done. The Bane and the Io are the ones to fall, but that's a 6,000 gold swing. Going in the pocket of that Phantom Assassin, getting a lot of value out of that Battle Fury with 1 crit, almost brings everybody down. The Slurk barely survives at the beginning of the fight and ends up getting chased down anyway. The tier 2 tower is going to fall, but they have 40 seconds that they don't have to worry about a Slurk, and still another 20 before they have to worry about an RP if they're taking down the RP timer. They might even consider going for a tier 3, especially if they get a kill in the Slander. The crits aren't entirely in their favor as they look for initiation on the backlines. They grip a Bacterium, and on the backlines they also get another kill. Now Sqreen going to be last up, pulled in the rest of the enemy team. That's 4 heroes down. The Queen of Pain is the only one surviving, and that's just because she barely respawned. Tier 3 tower almost certainly going to fall, if not a Rax for PR, and maybe even some more. Roshan is going to be respawning sooner rather than later, although not fast enough for PR to get it while everybody's down. This is at least 1 full lane.
There's just way too much initiation from the Power Rangers side. Like Centaur causing havoc, and again in that last fight, RP landing on 1, Sonic Wave only being used on the Wisp. Not worth it for Sqreen Squad to use those spells in such a way, and now they're going to lose mid lane in its entirety. Top lane is going to take quite a bit of damage as well. Slark is alive, but he does not have a Queen of Pain to help out because she's all the way down in the bottom lane. This is going to be Sqreen Squad sacrificing 2 sets of Raxes because they're caught without buyback. If Slark had buyback, this would not be happening. I can almost promise you that. And I mean, no one else on their team has buyback either, so it just goes to show you have to hold gold. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are. If it's you know, upwards of 10 or around 10,000 was the top lead for Sqreen Squad, but now all of a sudden we see Power Rangers with a huge experience and net worth lead. Sqreen Squad, this game is slowly starting to slip away from them. It's not out of reach because they do still have an RP and a really stacked Slark, but they have to take much better team fights.
I don't know. I don't think it's so slowly coming out of their reach. They're 1 full lane down against PR, and they only have the melee barracks in mid, so there's still an advantage in that lane equilibrium going the way of PR. And this Phantom Assassin is getting dangerously close to being 6-slotted. She's going to have another item to replace that drums. And once she has that, this Phantom Assassin is going to be dishing even more. I think the Basher for after getting this hit tank is probably your most likely choice. But even so, Cheshire Cat is dishing in these team fights, especially if you are clumped up and get caught out by a Centaur initiation. Even though they're able to reliably get these kills on the Bane and the Io, at this point, Slark can't man-fight up against the PA as effectively anymore. With similar amounts of HP and the Satanic advantage going the way of the Phantom Assassin, I'm not sure if they can do it unless they have a really great jump, and right now they're just lacking lockdown for this PA. All they really have is the RP and the Fire Blast coming out from the Ogre. Usually this time the Queen of Pain would be thinking about getting a Scythe of Vice, but Mammoth has backed off for the Lincoln Sphere and already picked up the Dagon 5. We're not going to see that item for a long time.
Lincoln's Dagon is quite a lot of investment into just, you know, utility damage, not enough lockdown, really. As you said, the RP, though it did land on 1 person in the previous fight, it landed on the correct person, but with the BKB, the Phantom Assassin is not really going to be taking that much damage, even if she is stunned out for a very long time. So BKB is such an integral tool at keeping the Phantom Assassin alive, and Sqreen Squad, they tried to kill off Roshan, but he wasn't available, and now it's the perfect time for Power Rangers to swoop in and kill off the big guy. With the Bat Rider to run interference, D-Ward at the exact same time, this should be a very easy, very fast Roshan for them, but
he shouldn't have killed that.
Smoked up.
That just gave away the fact that they're doing Roshan. The Sentry Ward has no vision on its own, and if he just let it be, I'm not sure they would have known as easily as they did. They pinged it out, and now they're smoking and looking into the Roshan pit. This could be a big fight. They open up onto Shatchlo. He's not the greatest target to find as he's not taking enough damage. On the backlines, Queen of Pain looking to burst down the Wisp, but isn't able to do so. They do throw the grip away back Varium, and now ZXC is man fighting up against Cheshire Cat. This is the man fight for the ages, but will it actually happen? The lifesteal from Cheshire Cat might be enough. No, it won't. They are going to lose their Phantom Assassin, but the buyback's coming out galore. ZXC still man fighting up against against the Nico and stealing too much agility, going to be dropped down to 1 HP after that Dark Pack. The buyback score from PR, are they going to be enough to defend this Roshan? I think so, but ZXC is healing up on the sidelines and might be able to make a jump back in, and a crit onto Ogre Magi, blown to shreds. J4 is still alive and has company. It's Cheshire Cat now wants to go into the Roshan pit. They had the buybacks, and that's why this fight's going as well as it did, but the Bat Rider, what killed him? That was the Queen of Pain, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it must have been Stealth Dagon from behind, I suppose. I did not see that one coming. They are going to take out the Roshan in the end, but Sqreen Squad, they just showed how powerful this Slark is. Like, he was cleaving through everyone with Empower. Mag didn't even get his RP off. I think he was gripped the entire time, so big ultimate that Sqreen Squad had available to them that actually just didn't do anything. But Slark cleaning up in the end, I mean, he is sitting on so much agility. 32 Essence Shift stacks with the Cleave and Bloodlust. He just did so much damage, but he's the only hero on Sqreen Squad who's actually surviving and doing damage in these team fights. Queen of Pain got isolated and brought down very quickly. Mag, as I said before, couldn't get anything off because he was just perma-stun locked. ZXC has a huge weight on his shoulders, and I don't know if a Slark is able to carry for his entire team. I mean, he barely got out of there with his life. Things got a little bit different. If the Phantom Assassin was a little bit luckier with her high-low rolls or her crits, the Slark could be dead right now, and that could be just game for Power Rangers.
Definitely. I think Cheshire Cat could have had a better timing on the Satanic as well, and now with the Basher, I don't think the Slark can go for a similar man fight now. If he gets bashed once, I think he's going to lose the fight, all said and done. Although he does have another item slot to pick up for himself, and I'd expect that to be Basher into Abyssal for him. He'll very soon have enough gold for the Basher as well as having buyback available, which is going to be pretty crucial. But either way, these two heroes are the ones that are hitting hard on either side. Phantom Assassin now with an Aegis advantage.
And let's see if she could actually do anything with it. The rest of the team is a little bit too far away to mobilize right off the bat, but bottom lane is protected by a tier 2, and actually I think that's something that Sqreen Squad could defend just because of the way the trees work. The Mag is going to have so many corners to hide behind and potentially get a nice RP off, or an RP off at all. So Sqreen Squad, they're going to look to defend this area. They're all sitting near their secret shop, and well, they know that Power Rangers are going to be looking for this bottom lane. I mean, they're obviously not going to go towards mid or top as there's nothing left to claim there. So it's very clear what Power Rangers want, and I think Sqreen Squad, they're going to take this fight to the Power Rangers. This is incredibly aggressive. ZXC is going to open up a fight with Cheshire Cat, but he's going to get quickly outnumbered. Where's the RP? Here it comes. RP is going to cancel, but it is going to land on 2. ZXC still alive, somehow regenerating in that Shadow Dance form. Now the Sonic Wave is going to land on 2 with the Mystic Flare. Not going to kill off anyone, however. Mag and Shadow and Scarth Mage are going to drop, and still now the Slark, he is finally down. Sqreen is the only one left along. Oh no, he's actually just going to, be left behind by Mamont. It's buyback from the Slark, just barely being able to afford that. But that was a nice RP from the Mag, but they just don't have anything else to follow. That was Slark kind of jumping the gun, but Power Rangers showing off how much damage they can really put out into one target that quickly. That was going to be a 4 for nothing. And this is a tier 2 is going to go down. The Raxes might even go down as well.
They focus everything into Cheshire Cat in that fight, and this time his Satanic is actually put to good use. He gets a bash on the Slark when the Slark goes aggressively on a Cheshire Cat, and from then on out, it's a lot easier for them to fight. The bashes weren't, or the crits weren't amazingly in their favor, and now the Queen of Pain is going to be critted down by Cheshire Cat. Doesn't get enough damage, and maybe Cheshire Cat's overextended, but not when you have the extra initiation from the Centaur Leap. They're going to chase down Mammoth. Mammoth is going to be able to blink back towards the base, and they lasso up ZXC. He's not able to get the Dark Pact off in time. Do they have the damage? They have the damage. Scarth Mage ultimate does not hit very much of anything, and now they're looking for the IO, but it's going to be Sqreen calling GG as they're going to be farmed up inside their base with no buyback on the Slark. I can't blame them. 1-1 is our kill score, or our overall score in this best of 3 after many throws and counter throws. That net worth and experience graph, although you can't see it now, was absolutely ridiculous. Just a couple of key fights are huge turning points in this game, and I'm excited for game number 3.
Yeah, lots of high action, showing off the power of the late game Phantom Assassin, showing off the power of the late game Slark as well. But Queen of Pain, I think, made a huge mistake going for this type of build. If she had a sheep stick, it could have gone so different for them. But we're going to be seeing these teams one more time in game number 3, guys, so don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with that third and final game from the Yard Red Festival for today.